go to a different place, it's always going to be above. Same like music, I think that music always exists because they talk about vibrations and how that exists. If you are a particle and you feel these vibrations, you are actually hearing music. I wonder what it feels and hears like in another world or another spectrum.
What if there was something even better than music right around the corner, and it was going to grow like a flower out of the corpse of music? Would that be worth it?
That's already happened with music.
That's
electric guitar versus acoustic.
Like what makes it not music? Then you have to define like hard limits of music, and I think that we already don't.
I just think that like
with
music, we don't need to cover things that have already happened. We don't really need to have like.
You don't need to keep rewriting the same song, but I mean I think that maybe my idea of music is broad. And maybe what you're thinking about is like a more narrow, like, because you're saying that you don't want to retread on the past, and I get that, but like, I mean, like sound collages are almost entirely like, right? Like that started as a recorded medium.
Sampling, I mean, is always going to get right back into the mix because you're always going to have artists that like to listen to other artists and then sample their stuff and then be like, well, I made this song, but I also like this song. So, I mean, I feel like there's that part of it. Sampling might change though, because music rights are changing extremely hard. That's why it's even changing with AI. So, eventually maybe nobody can sample.
I think it's, sorry. What
do you think, Paul?
No, I'm just thinking like it's, like we can't, it's not, like acknowledging that it's immortal, that it's something precious, that it's a living thing that needs to be new, like what I want to see, what I've been waiting for is like as different as like punk out of disco or rap, like as different as like Aphex Twin was from My Bloody Valentine, the Smashing Pumpkins, as different as anything else. Like I'm not interested in hearing a different shade of a different thing that's already happened. I want to be like as like, oh my god, I don't know what's going on here. Like I want, and I think like people liking it doesn't seem that important to me. People like,
so for there to be someone that's supporting something that does not necessarily have to be commodified.
It doesn't have to be commodified, but it has to like, it has to stir the soul in a way that is undeniable. And you're like, oh my god, what the fuck is that? And then when that happens, you're gonna have some people like, you need to have like half the people saying like, I hate this, and then half the people saying I love this. But if everybody's like yeah, then that's when something's wrong. And we've been in like a long stretch of everybody just been yeah, and I'm just like, okay, I'm ready for the next leap. And part of that is,
but who's gonna financially support something that's not gonna make money if you can't commodify it? And in order for us to see it like wide scale,
I got people for that.
Okay, because like in order for it to be wide scale, it needs to like.
I got the people.
There's also the thing about
it truly is.
Yeah.
Like that's not a problem.
Invention also with like following your gut with like what you think should be the best way for you to present something. That alone is what's going to change the music, because right now it's no longer just CDs and that kind of stuff. It's going to be like they might have to present you a short film for you to like listen to the new song or whatever. There's going to be some way to make it really driven with all these other artists to come together and like do a project that would actually have like worthy worth their time. Because now whenever you make a record or something on vinyl, it's like a waste of money unless you're actually going to go out and play the shows. Otherwise, you're going to have to spend a lot of money on promotion from being like a bedroom pop artist. Like you have to do both things.
And you're competing with a lot online. We're like in an unprecedented area where anyone can publish anything with almost zero barrier of entry, which is cool because you get to experience art from, like if you really dive into it, you don't like only take what's handed to you on like a silver platter. You do experience like way more personal art than you ever could before. But it also means that you're competing with like thousands or millions of other motherfuckers out there. Like, if you're only existing in the moment.
Billions of people,
Yeah, billions.
But we have to think about these like
I love it.
artists that we know that just do it for the love of the sport, hang out and play all day and sleep it and breathe it, and they don't record a thing or share it themselves. So like there's like that aspect of like they could be the next thing that changes music,
Like
but they're not getting the presentation or representation because they're solely just a musician artist. It's like we think about session players today. We don't really have session players now. We have like TikTok.
Well, we got recording right now. What's the piece of music that you could add, like just a musical line using what you have? You can grab a guitar or just you sing something like what if like, but you have 10 seconds. Like what would that sound like right
ABBA.
now? ABBA.
Hey, baby.
Paula Abdul.
We just got done.
Sade.
Any of the songs that we were just playing.
Yeah.
It actually sounds like animals fucking.
The sound of slaughter.
Be like the worst thing in the world, mayonnaise.
Alright, I'll do it. There is a such thing as
Music, and actually what I actually recommended today was that they needed to put music and like the bus transit systems because there's no music. It's just like pure boring nonsense.
There's no such thing as music. There is such thing as music.
Actually, all right. The thing about having an agent, if you truly did put yourself into a electronic being, do you think that you would actually have control over it, or do you think that alone, since like you didn't create the technology exactly, that you wouldn't be able to actually own it? That there's actually no truly owning your digital self, even if you made it or cloned it.
That's like a lawyer type question. It's like,
You think so?
I think it's like
Public domain wise?
I mean, if you want like if we're gonna have like communities and stuff, and you can say like, yeah, that's me, then that's fine. But if you're gonna like if you have to trust the companies to do that, then like we've never been able to trust them with anything. So the answer is probably don't trust it. But it doesn't really matter because we're the ones, we listen to each other's stuff, you know, and that's why I say we got you go and you don't ask, you just take what you need from these companies, and then we listen to what we make for each other. And you have to change the way you do that depending on what the moment is, because the companies and the way these moments happen change.
Okay. That's how it happens.
Well, it's just like there is like what worked last year doesn't work this year. What works next year is completely different. And anyone that makes any money doing any of this stuff always just is basically like on a grind, like on a hustle. Like it's not like there's nowhere you could sign up and be like, oh, I want to get paid. It's like, no, you gotta like come up with a way of getting that, you know.
Okay. All right. So this one, last thing. All right. Digital footprint. This is really interesting to me. Okay. Think about this motherfucker. All right. Think about this motherfucker. We've had shit like really interesting in our history, like pandemics, all this other shit. We've never had a complete wipeout for the internet. If you really think about it, the government tries to control the internet and shuts everything down. And then all of a sudden you get back on it one day and you try to look up like, oh, where'd this go? Where'd this go? Where'd this go? Like, what are you going to do about it? You know what I mean? You're going to want to have physical media? Yeah, you're going to wish that you backed up everything. You wish that you're going to like saved it on some hard drive or have an actual way of owning something, it's going to be that with music. The moment that is changing, like it's going to be that with art, it's going to be that with life. I truly feel this because there's going to be a matter of censorship that's going to like be like a subscription, like Apple. You're going to have to click and agree to these terms if you want to continue to live the rest of your life like using our internet.
Is reality going to become a subscription service? You're like, do you want to have the real world? It's $14.95.
We have apps of everything. I mean, we have apps of everything. Like, this is one thing that like my parents are interested about. It's like these ones that are like trying to teach you about stuff, and the ones that are trying to like have like relationships with you. If you really look at the ones that are like targeted to like get to know you, how exactly is this information being shared? There's something about somebody with like an iPad that was able to hack like a bunch of things that what was it, like a bunch of things that was being told to them at like school. Sensitive information. So it's like if you can find sensitive information just by hacking stuff with like an iPad, like you don't think that you're gonna like live in a world like where you're controlling how the internet is like functioning with like I think like I really think about this wipeout, this digital wipeout. Like the digital wipeout is gonna happen. It's gonna be like an ice age. It's going to be maybe the extinction of like everyone trying to actually now look at like what is in front of them. Maybe it could be different because you're going to be able to like back up your stuff if you buy into your subscription or something. But I think a lot of this is actually not going to be owned by you. If you can't even own like what you're telling like your Google, like you have actually no control over anything over the internet.
It would be really interesting if someone just deleted the internet. They're like, delete.
Well, if you want to use the internet, you actually have no control over it. So why do you want to?
Because the internet runs off of like certain codes. If you delete one code,
you just put this one code in and the whole thing disappears.
Well, no, but it runs off of codes. It's like the Matrix. You think of how the Matrix is all these green like numbers and letters falling down from the sky. That's basically the internet.
Beyond the grids.
We were talking about the cream though, because like if you have the milk,
the cream.
There's at the very top of it is the cream, and was it cream in the bottle, right?
Santos talks about cream.
But I think that's what we have to focus on is the cream. Even of these moments on the video, it's like, even if it's just like 4 seconds, that's the cream. That's what you keep, and it's worth running the whole thing if you have those 4 seconds. Or what were you saying about the cream?
That was pretty good. It's just wonderful.
It's wonderful. That was the line. Yeah. The cream is wonderful.
Slackerpod loves cream.
Yeah.
Jeffrey, how do you feel about cream?
It's all about that. No, I definitely think Courtney loves it.
So, Rusty, while you're here, let's just get a little bit of why you're even here, if you would explain.
I started getting messages from people since I started releasing my own music again, because I never had it like on the internet. Well, I had it on the internet, but not on the DSPs, the Apple Musics and all that stuff, and the Spotify's. And then when I started releasing that again, people were messaging me in Seattle. Was the first place I noticed people were asking me to come play. And then I decided I was going to tour, and Jeffrey had me on his Spirit Navigators podcast, and I was like, the first place I thought that I would play was Seattle, and I got in touch with him, and he's like, let's do it. And
Day one, nigga.
And then now it's happening. And I'm just really curious if any of those people that messaged me are going to be at the show tomorrow, because I really drove a long way to be here.
How many hours? It's like 18 hours,
18
right?
18 hours, yeah.
18 hours, yeah.
Yeah.
That's mania right there.
I started, like, it was right when I started getting past almost to Seattle, I started seeing UFOs. but it could have just been I've been driving too long. But I also think there might be actual UFOs up there. But I don't.
What kind of things were you seeing?
Just these airplanes that, like, there's too many of them though. Like, how many airplanes does Seattle need? Like, there's like.
I noticed too.
Yeah, right.
Crazy.
I'm like, oh, they're just like, you know. And keep in mind, UFO does not mean extraterrestrial. It just means that it's up.